JavaScript array methods in a few minutes or less. Devs, today we're going to be taking a quick look at join. The join method in JavaScript is used to join the elements of an array into a single string. It creates a new string by concatenating all of the elements of an array with a specified separator. But devs, before we look at any code, here are 3 quick facts about join. Number 1, default separator. If you don't provide a separator to the join method, it will use a comma as the default separator. So for example, this is equivalent to this. Number 2 is any data type. The join method can be used with arrays of any data type, not just strings. So it will automatically convert non-string elements to strings before joining them. And lastly, number 3, immutable. The join method does not modify the original array. It returns a new string with the joined elements. So if you want to join elements into an array without modifying the original array, join is a safe choice. All right, let's look at some code. All right, so we have the array fruits here, which is just an array of strings. And let's say we want to use join on fruits. So let's take fruits, type that down here, hit it with join, and then let's store that in a variable called results. And then let's log results to the console. And we now get our new string with all the elements of that array joined together. So like mentioned before, as the default, it will separate your items with a comma if you don't specify one here in the join method when you call it. But we can do that now with just, let's say, a comma with a space. We could even do a hyphen. But if you leave this blank, a comma is the default. But we'll leave a comma with a space just so that's a little cleaner. And there you have it. That's the join method. It's super simple. So this example was with the strings, but what about numbers? Well, we'll actually delete this and we'll paste in a new array called numbers, and we'll backfill that here. And you can see we get the same result, except these are now strings. Our data type coming in the array were a set of numbers. It was an array of numbers, but the output is actually going to be strings. And again, you can do whatever you want here. You can do a hyphen or a pipe, anything you want really. But I'll leave that a comma for now. So quick and simple example, let's look at one more with a different data type. So in this example, we're not working with an array, but we're working with an object. But we have the object person here, which just has a few key value pairs. And let's say we want to extract each value from each key in this person object and join it into a new array. So before we join everything in person together, let's first extract the value of each key and store it in a variable. So let's create that variable. We'll just call it object values, and that's going to equal something called object.values, set of parentheses, and we pass in here the objects we want to get the values for. And something to note, this is object with a capital O. This is a built-in method to JavaScript. This is already baked into JavaScript, and all object.values does is just extract each value of each key from that object. Simple as that. So we can say object.values, then we pass in the object that we want, which in this case is person. And now we can take our object values variable, have that down here, hit it with our join method, but then let's take this and store it in a variable. We'll just call this const result, and then let's log our result to the console. And you can see now we've taken each value from each key in an object and joined it into a new string. Again, a comma is the default, but let's just separate this with a pipe. It's a little cleaner. And that's about it. That does it for join. Join is super simple. So if you want to take all the elements of an array and join them together in a single string, join is your go-to. And you also saw how you can do the same thing with numbers and objects. But that does it, guys. If you liked this, definitely click that like button. If you're feeling chatty, leave a comment. And as always, if you want to support the channel, all you have to do is